things that I learned from my 2 tower gardens that I had before I moved to Hawaii, and the things that I've learned since I've owned 8 tower gardens that I want to share with you guys. And I think they're really valuable pointers that can help you out if you are in the market for tower gardens, you're thinking about getting more, you just don't know exactly what to expect. If you are in the market for a tower garden, I just also want to let you know that I am continuing my deal to give you Master Your Tower Garden, my 14-part course. If you buy a tower garden through my link below, I think that's something I'm going to run indefinitely. Number 1, you really can't grow everything on one tower garden. And let me explain exactly what I mean there. You can have a garden tower where you grow a bunch of different things on one tower, and you can definitely make it work. But the first thing you're going to have to look into is the pH of all the plants that you're growing, and make sure that your garden's pH is the same, because you can't have plants like blueberries or something that's going to be way on the acidic end and then try to grow like 95% of other plants, which are going to be right at 6.0 for a hydroponic garden. So you have to make sure that the garden's pH is the same for all the plants that you're planting in the garden. The other thing you really need to consider is this a plant that you're going to be eating a leaf from, or is this a plant that you're going to be growing a fruit from? Right? Because those require 2 totally different sets of nutrients and lighting. So if you're trying to grow plants that always stay in the vegetative stage on the same tower as plants that go into a fruiting stage, you're going to run into a problem whenever you go into the fruiting stage and start taking nitrogen away from the vegetative plants and start giving them a lot more phosphorus and potassium and sulfur and these things that they need for fruiting, when they don't make fruit, they just stay in veg. So the trick there is to harvest all of your vegetative plants. This is the one thing that I've realized that you can do if you want to grow everything on the same tower. So you just harvest all your basil, harvest all your lettuce, harvest all your greens, pull everything off. When you flip to flowering, you can literally remove the entire plant if you'd like. And then you can just cover up the hole with one of these little 2-inch cloning cuffs. And if you harvest all your vegetative plants when your flowering plants are going into flowering, then you won't have the problem with that overlap, and you can focus all your energy, all your nutrients, and your lighting to what your flowering plants are going to need without having to worry about your vegetative plants getting funky. All right, so the second one, if you do decide to monocrop, I got 8 tower gardens this last time, so I monocropped almost all of them. And monocropping is just where you grow the same thing on one whole tower. If you do decide to do that, which I recommend, it's amazing, it's awesome, you're going to get so much food, you better really like what you're growing. We did a basil tower garden and you can't really even see the tower garden anymore. I did a tomato tower garden and it went absolutely just ham sandwich. It was crazy. Cucumbers, and we ended up with more than we could really eat. So we gave a lot away to our neighbors. We made a lot of pesto. We started getting as creative as we could, but that's one thing that I noticed having 8 tower gardens is, wow, you better really like what you're growing, because you're gonna have a lot of it. In hindsight, 8 tower gardens might have been a little much. I think the family tower garden is a great size, the 3 tower gardens. I'll get more to that here in just a minute. So number 3, cleaning the tower garden and taking it apart is a pain in the butt. Honestly, when the big plants grow through and the roots have gone through and hold everything together, and you have to kind of like rip the whole thing apart and just rip the roots out, it becomes a whole process. Like your larger plants, you'll have to cut your plant out and then kind of work the roots out, take the whole thing apart after kind of trying to unscrew it through the middle. It can get really difficult. So think about that in the same way that you think about your soil gardens, having to turn over your soil gardens. You're gonna have to put some work in. It's not fun, it's not easy, but it's rewarding. With hydroponics, it's not quite the same. Your hands are gonna get dirty in a different way, but it is very rewarding. Once you get it reset, you get to step back and be proud of what you've done. But man, it is just a total pain to clean out and reset 8 tower gardens. 1 is not so bad, but I'd say any more than 4 would start to feel a little daunting. Number 4. Okay, so when I bought my 2 tower gardens years ago, I wish I'd known then just how modular they were. Meaning, I wish I knew that I could take them apart and stack them together and make one really tall tower garden and one short tower garden, and then I could actually get different plates that do different things and put them on my tower garden. That would have affected my original purchase. I think I would have actually bought the family tower garden unit instead of just buying 2 tower gardens, because the family tower garden unit comes with, you get 2 extensions per tower garden. So that already makes it way taller. Plus you get a cage, like a trellis unit. So you can get really creative with your family unit. You have a lot more functionality. You can do a lot more things. You can just keep adding to them, and you can make your tower garden more custom to what you need it to be. All right, next, number 5. What I've noticed here from my perspective, being the source of education as I began teaching people about tower gardens, is that they don't really, they make it seem easier than it actually is. They make it seem like you can just plant your seeds, set it up in your kitchen, and you'll have, beautiful produce in no time. But there is a certain level of hydroponic knowledge that you do need if you want it to really grow like this. Which brings me to number 6. The lights that come with the tower gardens are really great for growing like your leafy greens, your lettuce, your cruciferous greens even, all your herbs, anything that you're gonna pick the leaf from and eat. Those tower garden lights are really great for that. But what they're really not great for are fruiting plants. So if you wanna grow cucumbers, tomatoes, eggplants, squash, zucchini, any of the stuff that grows a fruit, then you're just not gonna have the intensity, you're not gonna have the PPFD that you would require to grow those fruiting plants. And I don't think they make that really quite clear enough, especially with the price tag of those tower garden lights. And don't forget, I run through everything that you would need to do to set up your own lighting and do all of this yourself in Master Your Tower Garden, the course, which you can just go pick up at humblegrowthhydroponics.com. You have to scroll down through all of the free guides, and I have a link to Master Your Tower Garden there at the bottom. All right, I think I just lost my page. Oh, that was the last one. Okay. Well, I hope that was helpful. Make sure you go check out the school community, Master Your Tower Garden. If you're in the market for a tower garden, use that link below and I'll give you Master Your Tower Garden. Till the next video, let's grow together.